What's happening, people, and welcome to another team review. My name is Dirty Mike, and if you're new to this series, then it's all about giving you the ins and outs and breaking down some of the top squads in FIFA 13. And in this EP, we've got FC Schalke. And I've actually been fortunate enough to see these guys play in person. I've been to Germany multiple times, beautiful country, crazy footy fans, big thumbs up, beautiful stadium, love it, love it, love it. And I know they talk a little bit about the stadium in FIFA as being just one of the best, and that it's at a very high level, it's well taken care of, but you have to experience it. The atmosphere, top notch. I have no complaints. But first formation we're looking at is going to be the 4-5-1. I wanted to start things out a little bit defensive. I'm using H2H as a single striker, which is not going to work well for counterattacks. I'm throwing that out there right now. I just really like H2H as a player, and I'm very fond of him in FIFA. You're going to have to whip in some crosses to give him opportunities to succeed. I played on defensive, and I used a slow build-up. I played very wide, and that allowed me to have a little more space to work around the opposition with Farfan, with Affalai, with Draxler, with Michel Bastos. I wanted to let those guys do some skill moves and kind of burst by my opponent and then try to feed H2H in the middle. He's a very clinical finisher. Unfortunately, this tactic didn't work as well as I would have liked. I was having trouble scoring goals. And the second formation we're looking at is a 4-1-2-1-2. It's one of my favorites. It's going to be the best formation with this squad out of the three I'm going to demonstrate. And it's unfortunate, though. These guys, they didn't get forward. The only guy that I felt was really in the attacking position that was needed, especially in terms of pushing forward quickly, is probably Farfan. And I use him as a striker partnership with H2H in the 4-1-2-1-2. Some people use Pookie. I know that he's been all over the place in terms of super silvers on Ultimate Team, and I like to use him as a super sub, but I did give him the starting role in the final formation. I just wanted to go a little bit more pacey. You got Affalai on the wing, Farfan on a wing, you got Bastos, Draxler, Jones. Very solid midfield, and on the defensive side of things, because that's very important, and I had no trouble shutting down my opposition. I think this team tends to play more defensive naturally. They're very structured, very organized. It reminds me of when I did that Everton review. I don't know if you guys have seen that. Some of you guys may have, where I couldn't get players to go forward as quick as I would have liked, but they all got back and played defense. And it made it relatively easy to shut down your opponent in terms of goal production and scoring goals. And a lot of my matches were against 5-star clubs, and they still were not able to break down the back line from Schalke. And the two center backs really stand out to me. It's Matip and H2H. Both those guys, very solid, consistent. They're like a brick wall, and you need it because Hildebrand, your keeper, man, is he suspect. He is not a great keeper, especially for such a good team. Usually when you're using high overall squads, their keepers are always at least an 80 and up. And this guy's a 75, and it shows. And if he was a little bit better, I would feel a little more comfortable maybe even playing on balanced and pressuring, especially in late game situations. But I'm scared about possibly getting him in 1v1 spots, and he's not as good as other keepers. Plain and simple, it's not his fault. That's how the cookie crumbles. FIFA didn't give him any love. And EA hoed me out in this little run through, this little set. I had 6 wins, 2 draws, and a loss, and that's 9 games. Usually you get to play 10 games in Division 1 and 1 more victory, and I would have actually won the division, and they didn't give me that game, so I don't know what the deal was. I only scored 13 goals, but as a plus, I only conceded 7. So I might have just had an off day, to be fair. Sometimes that happens in FIFA. I didn't bring my A game with Schalke, and I wasn't scoring goals the way I would have liked. You're seeing some corner kicks, some penalty kicks. You're seeing some set pieces. It's just not my best production in terms of goal scoring efforts. But if you enjoyed the review, make sure to drop that thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and follow me on Twitter at MikeSon9USA. I'll have a lot more content coming for you ASAP.